I'm gonna read you two quotes from Superman critics. One of them is from 1945, 80 years ago. The other one is from yesterday. See if you can guess which one is which. Number one, quote, "In Superman, everything is centered on one man. The leader, the hero, the duce, the Führer. He builds on the herd's dreams. He hypnotizes. Thus did Hitler." End quote. Now here's quote number two. Quote, "They took the ultimate childhood hero who was supposed to represent absolute good and turned him into a one-sided, distorted, superficial propaganda tool. They ruined my childhood. They ruined the experience for me, but not only for me. They ruined it for the next generation because my son, with his innocent eyes, asked me, 'Dad, why is Superman against Israel? Isn't he Jewish?'" End quote. Admittedly, I may have made it a little obvious which was which, but the point I'm trying to bring up, and the point that so many people have brought up this past week, is that while this new Superman movie from James Gunn is making some people on the internet compare Superman to an anti-Semite, this is nothing new for critics of the character. It has happened almost since his inception back in 1938. Whether it's people like Walter Ong in the quote that I read, referring to Superman in the same breath as Hitler, or people like the infamous Frederick Wortham, author of Seduction of the Innocent, who described Superman as, quote, "With the big S on his uniform, we should, I suppose, be thankful it is not an SS." So again, Superman's a Nazi, is what he's saying. That was Wortham's idea of like a subtle, jokey jab at the time, but later interviews all the way into the 80s, yeah, he was being less subtle about it. Like, here's a clip from him, and I want you to know that I did not edit in the stock footage they use when he's talking.
Superman itself is the symbol of force, power, and violence.
Now, to be fair here, Wortham was talking about the Nietzschean idea of the Superman, but he and many critics used it as a framework to critique the comic book superhero of the same name. And yes, this video probably will be demonetized. Thank you for asking. Please support me at patreon.com/NerdSync. I know times are tough for everyone. I'm also one of the everyone, so I need support, thank you. Now, the irony is obvious here. Superman was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, two Jewish men whose families immigrated to America. So Superman was not only an immigrant allegory, but also incorporated religious elements. You know, I think famously people recognize Superman's origin, leaving Krypton, his parents sending him away from a dying planet. It's very similar to Moses, except Moses, to my knowledge, didn't have a cool, spunky dog. I went to Bible college, all right? I would have remembered them mentioning that. Although I did fail out of Bible college, so I don't know, maybe I didn't get to the good stuff. But can we go back to that tweet that I saw? That's the second quote that I read for you, involving a definitely very real conversation between a father and son. "My son, with his innocent eyes, asks me, 'Dad, why is Superman against Israel? Isn't he Jewish?'" This is just telling on yourself, right? I mean, look, here's the thing, and I'll try to put jokes aside for a moment. We are living in an age right now where people are weaponizing claims of anti-Semitism against anyone who supports Palestine or criticizes the genocidal actions of Israel. And there's this extremely dangerous conflation that's happening. I mean, you see it in this tweet, right? Why is Superman against Israel? Isn't he Jewish? It just feels like that idea is arguing this gross and false idea that all Jews everywhere share this monolithic hive mind support for Israel. It's so disgusting and so disingenuous and, again, dangerous and, in my opinion, profoundly anti-Semitic. Israel is enacting a genocide against Palestinians, and a lot of people are hiding behind these accusations of anti-Semitism to silence anyone who would criticize Israel's actions. But you probably clicked on this video because it's like supposed to be about the new Superman movie, and I'm like a person who talks about comic books and superheroes. And this dog, I talk about this dog a lot. So if you haven't seen the movie and you haven't seen anyone else talk about the movie, you're probably wondering, how did we get here into this conversation so quickly? And it's because the new Superman movie by James Gunn is, intentional or not, extremely pro-Palestine. And it's rad. It's rad as hell. Like, I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, right? So I'm not even really going to talk about Superman that much. I'm just going to talk about, like, the major geopolitical conflict. But, you know, you can skip if you don't want spoilers. I at least hope you watched the beginning part. That's why I front-loaded the video with my staunch support of Palestine, because I didn't want anyone not seeing it because they were afraid of spoilers. So spoilers from here on out. So a major plot point of the Superman movie involves Lex Luthor teaming up with a leader of another country. It's a fictional country called Baravia, and Lex is effectively funding a genocide Baravia is enacting upon another fictional nation called Jaranpur. So Luthor Corp, along with the U.S. military and the U.S. government, is sending military weaponry to Baravia so that they can literally enact a genocide on the significantly less armed people of Jaranpur. And there is literally a moment, I kid you not, where a soldier of Baravia fires a gun at a kid who's just standing there holding up a sign waiting for Superman. And this soldier is thinking, we are literally here invading, occupying Jaranpur to do one thing, which is to spill the blood of every citizen of Jaranpur so that we can expand Baravia. You're going to see interviews of James Gunn saying that any political allegory to modern conflict was never intentional, and that's fine, James, you can keep saying that. But I've said a lot in my videos that authorial intent means nothing to me. For my money, this allegory is clear and blatant, and honestly, even if it wasn't intentional, all that really matters to me is what audiences take away from it. And if people are going into this wanting a cool, fun, summer blockbuster Superman movie and walking away realizing the horrors of a genocide that's actively happening in front of all of our eyes, I think that's a win. I think that's a net positive. And again, I want to clarify that these are fictional countries, right? Baravia and Jaranpur. And to go back to that, again, very real conversation between a dad and his child son about why is Superman against Israel? Isn't he Jewish? So one of two things happened here. Either one, you made up this conversation to get clicks, pretty obvious. Or two, if your child really did sit and watch this movie in a theater and saw two fictional countries being portrayed, where one is ruthlessly enacting a genocide against the other, and even your child recognized that the one doing the genocide was Israel, even though no one said Israel at all, no one said Palestine at all, but your child saw those soldiers and was like, that's Israel. How come Superman hates Israel? That's kind of telling, right? So again, either you made up the conversation, or you have to recognize that even children understand that Israel's enacting a genocide. Which one's more embarrassing for you? All right, I'll stop picking on that tweet now because they don't deserve any more attention. But I did want to mention something else. One criticism I did see from people I do actively follow for a reason, they mentioned how the movie, especially in that interview sequence with Lois and Superman, Lois brings up these decent points about, isn't it wrong for Superman to interfere in this geopolitical conflict? He's enacting his own will, interfered unilaterally in stopping a war, or at least trying to stop a war. And yeah, it is a decent question of should Superman be allowed to make these decisions, be allowed to interfere without fully understanding the ramifications of getting involved in these global conflicts? And again, doing so without any oversight, doing so completely on his own accord without anyone to answer to. And the thing about it is, Superman's answer, I believe, cuts right to the core of his character. He admits when he gets involved, in trying to stop a war, in trying to stop genocide. He isn't thinking about the wider ramifications of his actions. In those moments, Superman has one thing on his mind. He's just trying to save people. He's just trying to stop people from dying. And yeah, I understand that that can be sort of a simple-minded way to look at the world. But, number one, he's a farm boy from Kansas. He's not a philosophy major or anything like that. Also, number two, sometimes it really is that simple. Because the truth of the matter is, genocide, in any context, in any world, fictional or not, it's never justified. Ever. As a reminder, Superman didn't debut in let's all sit around and discuss every possible outcome of anything we could do without actually doing anything comics. He debuted in Action Comics. That's who he is, and that's who he's always been. Someone who takes action. And can I just give you a little bit of behind the scenes of this video that you're watching right now? So I filmed and edited another video entirely about Superman's trunks, just like sort of a celebration, why I am very happy that David Corenswet fought for them to be in the movie, and how he has a great understanding, a great grasp of why they're important to the character. And it was a fun video to make. Emily helped me film it. We did it all in one take, like exploring the house, different props and everything. It was very fun to make, but in the process of that, I reference those same quotes from Frederick Wortham and Walter Ong, the ones I mentioned earlier about Superman having an SS on his chest, or overtly calling him a Nazi, saying he's like no better than Hitler, that kind of stuff. And this was before we had watched the movie. So imagine my surprise when after the movie comes out and I see it. I mean, I don't know, I just wasn't expecting those quotes about people calling Superman a Nazi and calling him anti-Semitic to be as relevant to the actual movie. So I'm still going to release that video, at least on Nebula and Patreon. Support me on Patreon. And I might release it here on YouTube still as well. I don't know, it just has so much overlap with this video right now because I used like the same kind of quotes about people calling Superman authoritarian and totalitarian and that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe you let me know if you want another video just about Superman's trunks. It's short, it's quick, I don't know. Anyway, I also just wanted to get this video out there because even though I feel like I've been very vocal in my support for Palestine, and I've said it in one or two videos and other podcasts and internet social media posts here and there, but I've never really made a whole dedicated video about my views. And this movie, this Superman movie, it felt like it's a great opportunity. And also by the way, it's a good movie. Good movie. Well, thank you for watching. My name is Scott, reminding you to examine your favorite art through curiosity and vulnerability. Free Palestine.